If you are a midlife woman or you're coming up on this powerful season of growth, this is the podcast for you. Welcome to Unraveling Together. I'm Samantha Graber, also known as Dr. Sam, seasoned holistic health physician and woman in the midst of midlife's unraveling. Unraveling Together is the place to talk about the things we just don't talk about, but so desperately need to as women. Together, we untangle ourselves from our pasts and weave a beautiful web for a future we so deeply desire to bring to life. Grab a cup of chai, tea, water, or joe, and let's get to it. There's a conversation going on highlighting words and phrases that we need to lay to rest in 2022. I have one phrase to add to that. Well, actually, I have several, but this one is the one for today. Lose weight. Seriously, that two-word phrase, along with any and all variations thereof, needs to go. Buh-bye. It's not us, it's you. It's not about weight loss, for crying out loud. It's about losing excess body fat. Not all of our fat, so we look like a veiny, emaciated bag of skin. No, that is so not healthy. I'm talking about abdominal fat, big belly fat, especially that hard belly fat. You know, the belly that when you touch it, it's as hard as a rock and it's not a six pack? That fat. And liver fat, the deadliest of all. This is the fat that is behind the abdominal wall, the muscular wall, and it's surrounding our vital organs. This is also the kind of body fat that you can't see from just looking at someone. There's a term, TOFI, T-O-F-I, thin on the outside, fat on the inside. Look it up. I used to see this in my elder clients early on when I started practicing. The ages got younger and younger over my 25-year career. These guys would exclaim that they still wore the same size jeans as when they were in their 20s. These were comments mainly from men who wore their pants low enough to allow their bellies to dunlop over the top, right? It's a thing, Dunlop disease. Nah, don't look that one up though, because I don't think it's actually an official medical term. But I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. So now the women rarely ever made the same jeans comments to me. It was almost always the inverse. They developed more fat, belly, booty, boobie, the whole body padded itself with more fat. Now the jiggly belly fat is not as much a concern, but it is often covering over the hard belly fat. So there's that. And the junk in the trunk kind of fat, girl, that is fine. And I mean, fine, like the PHAT kind of fine. You feel me? I do want to add in a caveat. Yes, there is always one or two with every topic when it happens to come to holistic health. Though the extra curves are fine, and I mean that. Women are beautiful in every shape and size. And women, our worth is not tied to our size, nor to our gravitational pull. That is just fact in my book. Body shaming of anyone of any size, small, medium, large, that is not okay. Not okay in the least. We, us women, we are the ones tearing each other down. Now I don't. I put the kibosh on that shit right quick, but I do see it everywhere I turn. I love, love, love the women I see in pop culture who are changing that narrative. They're loving their bodies in all shapes and sizes, though mostly focusing on the more full-figured. And again, beautiful. Now, I don't know exactly how to say this, and I'm a person who speaks love into people, so I want this to be taken in that context and not out of context. But I know chances are likely it will be taken out of context. But here goes. Please love yourself at all sizes, but do not conflate nor confuse that self-love with healthy. Now, we can be metabolically healthy in many shapes and sizes until we are not. Body fat, or adipose cells, adipose is A-D-I-P-O-S-E, they are adding inflammatory chemicals to our biochemical concoction all day, every day. It's often mistakenly thought that body fat is just sitting there doing nothing. That is absolutely not true. Body fat cells or adipose tissue that can also act as a signal jammer, and it works on the continuum of hormones throughout the body. One in particular is leptin, L-E-P-T-I-N. More on that in the future. As well, adipose cells contribute to an estrogen-dominant environment. Yes, adipose tissue makes estrogen. That brings with it many of the issues women face in any stage in life, seemingly more prominent in midlife and beyond. Add that to the consistent, constant, never ending stress, and it is no wonder that our bodies are having issues in retaining excess body fat. This is something for you to think about. It's not judgment, it's biochemistry. Again, it's not about losing weight. We want to keep our muscle weight. A better word for that is mass, our muscle mass, right? So we want to add to it even. Muscle weighs a lot. A fact I learned in sixth grade when I was the heaviest kid in my class, heck, my school, and the sturdiest. The school nurse who was weighing us in front of our whole class, mind you, said to me as she was sliding that little weight thingy all the way down. I was just watching her like, oh, yeah, there I go. Right before she had hit the end, she goes, "Oh, honey, muscle weighs more than fat." She knew how to talk to young women. Thank God for her, right? So while we're at it, we want to keep our bone mass and weight. We want to be all kinds of greedy as we hoard and build upon that one too. Now, I've been coaching people on attaining and maintaining an optimal body composition for over 3 decades. I've been an athlete, competitive-ish, over, geez, how many carry the one? At least 4 decades. Okay. So I know what the body is capable of doing. I know how to push the body and I know how to bring that body back full circle and help it heal. Gaining more structure and more ability and more strength happens in the recovery. So I've helped people do this with real food every single time and targeted movement and a lot of rest, again, recovery. Prior to discovering nutritional ketosis 7 years ago, it wasn't as easy to get the results that we get now. Nutritional ketosis helps reset our metabolism. It does this by resensitizing our cells to insulin. This is the crux of the matter. So when you say you're hormonal, yeah, you're darn right you are, but it's not necessarily the hormones you're usually thinking of. It's all about insulin. In my opinion and vast experience, nutritional ketosis is the metabolic motherland for the vast majority of midlife women that I've worked with, and for myself ever since I adopted this way of eating many moons ago. So how you get your keto on can vary, and there is no one size fits all. Every woman is unique, but there are metabolic commonalities amongst us. There is no pill, there's no potion, there's no elixir, and there's no powder to buy. No patch will do it either. Put that money towards groceries and spend it at the farmer's market or with your favorite regenerative farmer or rancher. Nothing does a job better than real food and strategic fasting. Now, before you freak out on me around the F word, fasting, I don't recommend the faddish fasting or the forced fasting that I see all over the internet. Drives me crazy. I help you know how to properly fuel your body and how to tune into its affirmative nod that now is a good time to fast so that you can tap into the many benefits of a recycling cycle every now and then. So if you've read the research on nutritional ketosis, you know it is a phenomenal built-in health optimizing setting. No question. Trouble is, if you've read the research, you are most likely bored to death and it is your ghost listening to me now. I understand. I don't blame you for not doing your due diligence. How can I? You're a ghost. But see, on the other hand, I find it riveting. But I am an odd chick. Those who know me well would vehemently agree. I've done the vetting for you, and I continue to dig into this on the regular. I love this stuff. Along with the research reviews, I love all things personal growth and optimal human performance. Mind, body, spirit stuff, totally my jam. I can geek out with the brainiacs and sit knee to knee to walk you through what you need to know to make the changes, stick to them, and ultimately see results. And just as in the truly talented musician, there is no overnight success here either. To further hone your unconventional wisdom skill set through personal growth and eating real food that truly nourishes you, follow me and subscribe to my weekly LinkedIn newsletter. You can do both in one fell swoop by visiting my profile's featured section. Bye for now. Thank you for joining me on the Unraveling Together podcast. I'd love to turn this thing we've got into a dialogue. Follow me on LinkedIn at Dr. Sam Graber, where we can have conversations about all things midlife, perimenopause, and finding meaning through it all. If you want a deeper dive into exploring your midlife experience, consider joining the Unraveling Together community of rebellious midlife women. It is there that we roll up our sleeves and do the work. Unraveling Together is a resource hub, roadmap, and online coaching community curated by yours truly. We are navigating this time called midlife together, for we truly believe we are stronger together. And when unravelers are in need of an assist, they have all of us there alongside them.